Welcome back, it's Anna, and tonight we walk through the intoxicating territory where desire meets power, where someone with means decides you're worth all of it, where wealth stops being abstract numbers and becomes tools of pursuit, where you discover what it feels like to be wanted by someone who has the capacity to manifest their wanting into reality. Let me reveal what's alive in the hidden chambers of someone's consciousness right now. In the ancient dance between those who have and those who are, there exists a particular magnetism that transcends transaction. It's not about what you can offer materially, it's about who you are essentially, the quality of your presence, the frequency of your being, the way you move through the world that makes someone with everything recognize you as the one thing they don't have. Some people collect possessions, they accumulate, they acquire, they measure their worth by what they own, and then they meet someone like you, someone who cannot be bought, someone whose value exists independent of market forces, someone who reminds them that the most precious things in existence are the things money cannot simply purchase. And that recognition, it drives them wild. It shifts them from accumulator to pursuer, from owner to supplicant, from powerful to vulnerable, because suddenly they want something their wealth alone cannot guarantee. They want you, and wanting you requires them to be more than their bank account. You might be exactly that kind of catalyst for someone right now, someone who has resources looking at you and recognizing that all their resources mean nothing if they don't translate into your interest. Someone wealthy discovering that wealth is irrelevant if it doesn't make you choose them. Let me speak into what being most wanted actually means. When the one doing the wanting has power to act on desire, this reflection invites you to consider, have you noticed anyone with means paying unusual attention to you lately? There's a particular quality to how people with resources pursue what they want. They're not passive, they're not patient in the way people with limited means must be patient. They're strategic, they're bold, they're accustomed to identifying what they desire and then marshaling everything at their disposal to acquire it. In the territory of wealth-enabled pursuit, the usual limitations don't apply. Can't see you because of distance? They'll eliminate distance. Can't spend time because of schedules? They'll rearrange schedules. Can't access you because of barriers? They'll remove barriers. Money is not just comfort, it's capability. It's the power to reshape reality around desire. It's possible someone is currently contemplating exactly this kind of pursuit of you. They're not just hoping you'll notice them, they're planning. They're considering what would impress you, what would demonstrate the seriousness of their interest, what would make you understand that you're not just another person they're attracted to. You're the person they're willing to do extraordinary things for. Some people promise stars from the sky as metaphor, pretty words that mean nothing, romantic exaggeration that never translates into action. But when someone with real resources makes such promises, the metaphor starts becoming literal. Private planes become possible. Impossible gifts become simple. Dreams you've spoken become missions they take on. You might be approaching exactly that kind of experience where someone with the means to make extravagant gestures decides you're worth every extravagance, where their wealth stops being about them and starts being about what it can do for you, where you discover what it feels like to be pursued by someone who has removed the usual obstacles between wanting and having. This reflection invites you to consider What would it feel like to be pursued without limitation? Let me part the veils and reveal who this person might be in your current reality. There are those who move through the world carrying wealth visibly, luxury brands, expensive cars, obvious displays of material success, and then there are those who carry wealth quietly, understated, hidden beneath simplicity, revealed only to those who learn to recognize the subtle signs. In the mystical understanding of true prosperity, the most powerful wealth is often the most invisible. Those who've achieved real abundance rarely need to announce it. Their confidence speaks, their ease speaks, their ability to make things happen without apparent effort speaks. It's possible the person becoming obsessed with you falls into the second category. You might not recognize their resources because they don't perform them. You might underestimate their capacity because they present humbly. You might miss entirely that you're being desired by someone who could fundamentally alter your material reality if you allowed them to. Some souls are blind to wealth because they're looking for the wrong markers. They're watching for flash when substance dresses plainly. They're listening for boasting when real power speaks softly. They're expecting performance when actual capability has nothing to prove. You might need to expand your perception to notice who shows up consistently, who makes things happen without drama, who speaks of future plans with certainty that suggests means to manifest them, who treats expensive things casually because expensive is relative to their actual resources. And among these quiet, wealthy, one of them is currently fixated on you in ways they're still learning to navigate, because wanting someone this intensely is new territory, even for someone accustomed to getting what they want. This reflection invites you to consider who in your orbit has been showing up with unusual consistency. Let me illuminate what the promise of stars from the sky actually represents. There are gestures that exist beyond the realm of practical necessity, gestures that serve no purpose except to demonstrate the depth of feeling, to prove that someone will go to absurd lengths just to see you smile, to show that your happiness matters more than their resources, which is significant when their resources are substantial. In the language of devotion through material demonstration, these gestures are not about buying affection. They're about removing obstacles to your dreams, about making possible what seemed impossible, about using wealth as tool rather than weapon, as bridge rather than barrier, as means to create magic in your life rather than leverage to control you. It's possible someone is currently contemplating exactly what impossible thing they could make possible for you, what dream you've mentioned casually that they could fulfill spectacularly, what limitation you face that they could eliminate completely, what experience you've never had that they could orchestrate masterfully. Some people hear such possibilities and immediately become suspicious. What do they want in return? What's the catch? What manipulation is hidden in the generosity? And sometimes that suspicion is warranted. Sometimes gifts come with strings that strangle. But other times, sometimes someone with means simply wants to use those means to bring joy to someone who matters to them. Sometimes the gift is pure. Sometimes the only string attached is hope that you'll see them. Really see them as someone worthy of your time and attention and eventual affection. You might be on the receiving end of exactly that kind of pure intentioned abundance, someone who wants to give, not to obligate, but to delight, who wants to demonstrate, not to manipulate, but to reveal their sincerity through action rather than empty word. This reflection invites you to consider, what would you allow someone to do for you if you trusted their intentions? Let me speak to what being most wanted means for your sense of self. There's a way we carry beliefs about our desirability, about who we're worthy of attracting, about what category of person would consider us valuable. And these beliefs are often based on old information, on past rejections, on messages we internalized about our place in social hierarchies. In the deep unlearning required to receive extraordinary attention, we must release these limiting beliefs, must consider that perhaps we've been underestimating our own magnetic pull, that perhaps we're more captivating than we've allowed ourselves to believe, that perhaps someone with options, significant options, is choosing us not despite our ordinariness, but because they recognize our extraordinariness. It's possible your self-concept needs updating, not because you're flawed as you are, but because you're not seeing yourself as clearly as someone else is seeing you. You're focused on perceived limitations while they're mesmerized by your actual qualities. You're minimizing your appeal while they're maximizing their efforts to win you. Some people cannot receive abundance because they don't believe they deserve it, cannot accept extraordinary pursuit because they don't think they're worthy of it, cannot let themselves be wanted intensely because their self-image doesn't allow for being that desirable. You might be at exactly that threshold where someone's intense desire for you is inviting you to upgrade your entire understanding of your own value, where being most wanted is asking you to reconsider who you are and what you're worth and what you're allowed to receive. This reflection invites you to consider, what if you're more desirable to high value people than you've believed? Let me reveal what the bonus actually is in this convergence of forces. In the mystical mathematics of manifestation, when multiple streams of abundance align simultaneously, the result is not additive, it's multiplicative. One form of wealth accelerates others. One form of opportunity creates space for more. One person's resources connect to networks that connect to possibilities, that connect to realities you never imagined accessing. It's possible that this wealthy person's interest in you is not the only abundance arriving, that their pursuit is one thread in a larger tapestry of financial breakthrough currently weaving itself in your reality, that while you're being desired by someone with means, you're also being positioned in opportunities that don't require anyone else's wealth. Some souls are approaching a season where every door opens at once, where career accelerates while romance intensifies, while creative projects manifest, while financial streams multiply, where the universe stops being stingy and starts being lavish, where abundance stops being scarce and starts being the new normal. You might be entering exactly that kind of season, where being most wanted to someone wealthy is just one expression of a larger pattern, where you're simultaneously most wanted in professional contexts, most valued in creative circles, most sought after in multiple domains, all of it converging, all of it pointing to the same truth, that your season of lack is ending and your season of overflow is beginning. And the bonus, the unexpected extra, the thing you didn't even ask for but is being added anyway. Maybe it's the wealthy person's network opening doors. Maybe it's their interest creating visibility. Maybe it's their resources removing barriers. Maybe it's their pursuit inspiring you to recognize your own power. This reflection invites you to consider, what if multiple forms of abundance are arriving simultaneously? Let me speak to what you must understand to navigate this without losing yourself. There is a danger in being pursued by wealth, the danger of forgetting who you are beneath the attention of starting to measure your worth by their desire, of becoming dependent on external validation even when that validation comes wrapped in luxury. In the sacred practice of maintaining self while being wanted, we must remember that we were whole before they noticed us, that our value exists independent of their recognition, that their resources are impressive, but our essence is irreplaceable, that they're lucky if we choose them, not the other way around. It's possible you'll need exactly this kind of groundedness as pursuit intensifies, to stay connected to who you are when someone is offering you everything, to maintain your standards when someone with means is trying to exceed them, to remember your worth is inherent when someone is trying to prove it through external abundance. Some people lose themselves in being wanted by wealth. They become what they think the wealthy person wants. They perform, they mold, they forget their own desires in service of being desired, and they win the pursuit but lose themselves in the winning. But you don't have to make that trade. You can be wanted without changing, can be pursued without performing, can be offered stars while remaining grounded in earth, can receive abundance while maintaining your core. This reflection invites you to consider, what standards will you maintain regardless of what someone offers? Let me close by speaking to what this moment is actually offering you. This is not just about someone wealthy wanting you. This is about you recognizing your own magnetic power. This is about understanding that you attract what you are. And if you're attracting wealth, you must be carrying wealth frequency. This is about claiming your place among those who are chosen, pursued, wanted by people with power. In the initiation into being most wanted, you learn that you're not ordinary, that you're not background, that you're not someone to be overlooked or undervalued or taken for granted. You're someone worth pursuing, worth impressing, worth going to extraordinary lengths for. And once you know that, once you feel that in your bones, everything changes. How you move, how you speak, how you allow yourself to be treated, how you show up in every space. You carry yourself like someone who is most wanted because you know it's true. May you receive the pursuit with grace. May you maintain yourself through the attention. May you recognize your worth before anyone confirms it. You are most wanted. Act accordingly. Someone rich will promise to bring you stars from the sky. Perhaps they already are planning it. Perhaps they're currently considering what impossible gesture would capture your attention. Perhaps they're marshaling their resources to demonstrate that you're worth every resource they command. The bonus, everything else that's arriving while this is happening, the professional opportunities, the creative breakthroughs, the financial streams, the recognition, all of it converging because you're entering your season of being seen, valued, wanted, chosen. Trust this. Trust that being pursued by wealth is confirmation of your frequency. Trust that you deserve every star they want to give you. Trust that you were built for exactly this level of desire and abundance. You are most wanted, not by accident, by design. The pursuit is forming. The abundance is approaching. The stars are within reach. Stay grounded.